Hi, I'm Nisha DeGaring, host of Good Things Utah, and I've been a longtime supporter of Todd's Beliefcast. I hope you find inspiration in the courageous stories shared by the amazing people Todd features on his show. The guests serve as shoulders for us to stand on, allowing us to see a little further and cultivate belief in oneself. Remember, you have the dignity and power to change. I encourage you to keep striving and believing in yourself. Enjoy today's podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. This is your host of the Beliefcast, Todd Sylvester, as always. And I know I say this every time, but I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for believing in me. Thanks to my sponsors, man. You guys are the best. Thank you for supporting this cause. We are reaching so many people right now. We're ranked in the top 100 in mental health. I can't even believe that. I pinch myself every day. Like, really? Are you kidding me? But it's not because of Todd. It's because of these amazing people I bring on my show. And today's going to be no different. So we have on the Beliefcast today, I sit down with a powerful voice in the growing movement of digital wellness, Talmage Erickson. Talmage, thanks for being here.
Todd, you're the man. Appreciate it. I hope this introduction makes me look as I am instead of better than I am.
No, it does. It fits. So guys, in a world where screens are competing for our attention, relationships, and mental health, Talmage is helping people wake up and reconnect with what matters most. After growing up with a flip phone, which we're going to talk about, while everyone else was glued to their smartphones, he saw firsthand the difference that intentional technology use can make. Now, through speaking education and his platform Screen Guys, he is helping students, parents, and families learn how to live beyond their screens and reclaim human connection. This conversation is going to be deeply relevant for every parent, teenager, educator, and adult trying to navigate the digital age without losing themselves in it. So, man, we're going to discuss how anxiety's off the chart, depression's off the chart, low self-esteem is off the chart with these kids because it's being fueled by this technology. So we're going to get into a lot of amazing things. So Talmage, why don't we start off, for those who don't know you, tell us a little bit about where you grew up and maybe somewhat some things about your family.
Yeah. Talmage Erickson. I'm from Gilbert, Arizona, Gilbert Mesa area.
Right on.
Love that place. Born and raised.
Nice and hot.
Nice and hot. Growing up, I enjoyed all things sports. I was a big tennis player.
Okay.
Loved tennis, and then I was a swimmer.
Who's your favorite tennis player if you could pick one? Like, do you have one you like to follow?
I really do love just the Roger Federer. He's been the GOAT since he's retired. Obviously,
right?
He hasn't been playing, but
it's amazing.
His longevity.
Yep.
The guy could just rip the ball, and he's done it for years on end since he started. So I've always loved him. But
that's a good one to follow for sure.
I've got 6 siblings. I'm number 5 of 7.
Okay.
There's 6 boys and 1 girl.
Wow.
So 6 goblins and 1 angel is what we call it.
Well, she's got a lot of protectors.
She's amazing.
That's cool.
Yeah, she's the last one at home, just graduated. So my parents are wondering what they're going to do with their lives. They're empty nesters now.
Yeah, I mean, I have 4 kids, and when they were all in the house, they're all out of the house now. It was like chaos.
Yeah.
I can't imagine with that many kids how chaotic it, the noise, which is a good thing, right? And then when it goes away, it's like, now it's really quiet.
Yeah.
Like, we have a lot of quiet nights at my house. It's like, it's weird.
Yeah.
Look how quiet
Every
it
weekend, there was always at least one of us grounded. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet.
It would be weird if we weren't grounded.
Yeah.
So we were always just battling out. Love my brothers. They're all doing some amazing things. But yeah, that was my family life growing up.
Well, how'd you find yourself up here?
Came back from my LDS mission. Went to Brigham Young University.
All right.
Just graduated with a degree in finance.
Congratulations.
I don't do anything in finance, but it was a good degree.
Well, not only that, I mean, that for those who don't, really realize this, BYU is one of the hardest schools in the country. Like, it's brutal.
Yeah.
I've heard it even be called the Harvard of the West.
Yeah.
Really hard. So congratulations and
thank you.
Pushing through that. That says a lot about you that you'd go through that and make that happen. So congrats.
Thank you. It was a good journey, good ride. Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I never would have taken you as a finance guy because of your passion for what you're doing with this, right?
Yeah. I know. It's funny. I think I did. I went to school and I just thought I need to get a degree.
Yeah.
And my dad said, "Why don't you do business?" And I've always enjoyed business, entrepreneurship, starting things up.
Yeah.
So I did a finance degree, but it was in that finance degree where I realized my passion wasn't finance and wasn't business, and it was actually speaking and youth and kids and helping people. So it's kind of a roundabout way to do it, but I got it done. And
why don't we talk about that? How did you find that transition? Like where was there a point in time where you're like, man, I want to help kids. I want to make a difference. I want to speak. Was there a day that happened, or was it just gradual over time?
Oh, I think Steve Jobs said it best when he says you can't see the dots connecting until you look backwards.
Until you look back, yep.
And for me, it's literally just been a domino effect. But I don't know which set of dominoes is falling at the same time.
That makes sense.
Growing up, 14 years old, I sat across from my dad like I'm doing here to you, and I said, I want a cell phone. And my dad said, what if we gave you a flip phone? And I was like, you hate me.
Yeah.
You don't want me to be popular.
You want me to be teased.
I'm going to miss out. I'm going to get bullied. Like, how am I supposed to survive as a teenager without social media, without a cell phone, a smartphone, without connecting the way everyone does?
Mm-hmm.
And I had that flip phone all of high school, but it was so
you
funny.
went with it. I mean,
I stuck with it.
Well, all right, I guess we'll do a flip phone.
Yeah, I stuck with it. And
it sounds like you dreaded it at first.
I dreaded it at first, and then my eyes just started to open.
What did you start noticing? Like, let us know, like, what was it like that you started to go, man, this is different, but in a good way?
Yeah, when I was a sophomore, my family moved. We moved to a different house, different neighborhood. I started at a different school. And then this is every teenager's worst nightmare.
Oh, for sure.
I was the new guy. I was the guy that didn't have any friends. And so I moved schools, and I'm thinking to myself, great. Not only can I not connect with people on social media, I don't have any friends at school. I'm the new guy. My life was kind of in shambles.
It was stacked up against you, man.
Stacked against me. And so every day I'd go to school looking for just some connection.
Yeah.
But everyone was looking down at their phones, and I just craved some eye contact. I craved a relationship. I craved people, and I didn't get that for a long time until one day when after church I looked around, tried to find my family to give me a ride home, but they'd forgotten about me. They had left me at church by myself. So there I am walking home, Arizona summer. I'm alone. Not only does everyone at school think I'm invisible, but my family thinks I'm invisible from what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, obviously your parents didn't mean to do that,
no.
but where your head was at the time, that was very difficult, and you started feeling what?
Yeah, I started feeling lonely. I started feeling like I didn't belong. And all that time of just, I wasn't like everyone else. You felt like that. You felt like, I don't fit in. I don't belong. Yeah. So there I was walking home thinking to myself, I'm probably better off not being around. And all the listeners have felt this way. You felt this way. We all know that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And in one moment, this car just comes screeching to a halt next to me. And this guy my age, member of the church, he was in my youth group. He rolls down the window. He's like, hey, you need a ride? I said, sure. And that was the first time in a very long time that I felt like someone saw me, knew me, and connected with me.
Yeah.
Because we live in such a digital world, an age of constant connection.
Yeah.
But the point is, if you can disconnect, that's when you start to reconnect.
Yeah.
And that was the first time that I felt like someone looked up at me. Someone looked up from their technology, from their phone, from their own individual life, and saw me as a person and helped me.
Wow.
Kind of like your lemonade stand story, where you feel just this moment of...
It was a moment of like, whoa.
Yeah.
Maybe I do matter.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, you're going to make me get emotional here. Yeah. I mean, you hear that story you just shared, and it sounds like, oh, okay, cool. But man, what that meant to you at the time. Because of where you were emotionally is exactly like what you needed. Like it was the thing you needed. It was like an answer to a prayer, if you will, right? Like this is what was going to help me, I guess, press forward. Because, I'm trying to imagine you at school. Everyone's on their smartphones. And I've been in high schools, but I'm telling you, the hallways are littered with them. No one's talking in the hallways. Everyone's on their freaking phone. I can imagine, because you don't have your flip phone out because there's nothing to look at.
Nothing.
But it would be funny if
And
you
I
did,
didn't
right?
want to be made fun of if I had it out.
You got your flip phone out. Hey, guys, what's up?
Yeah.
Just trying to text on this phone here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can imagine how lonely that felt, especially like you said, brand new school, new people. You already that's already difficult to move, and then you throw that on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, you have that moment,
and then that moment, and I started to realize that the importance of life is not what goes on online. It's not what everyone's posting. It's not the number of likes or comments that you get. It's actually the ability to be present and connect with someone who needs you most. I feel like sometimes we worry so much about what's happening, what we're missing out online, that we actually miss out on what's most important around us.
Yeah.
And then towards the end of high school, one by one, my friends came to me and said, I'm struggling with pornography. I'm struggling with social media addiction. I can't quit comparing myself to other people online. I think that might be the biggest hardship of social media. And once again, just the thought of, is this really what kids need? Is this really what families need?
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe it is. And I believe that kids and families need connection. And the only way to do that is to just disconnect maybe for 5-7 seconds.
I've heard this, and I share this a lot with my group that I talk to all the time. You're never more fully alive than when you're connected. Yeah. I mean, you feel alive. And like in that moment when the guy screeched up beside of you and said, hey, you want to ride? You felt alive for a moment. Like, wow, I'm alive, man. I matter, that kind of thing. And so you have your flip phone. Obviously, you probably got to a point where you started realizing this was a blessing versus a curse.
Yeah, exactly. It was a blessing. Hindsight, always 20/20. It was totally a blessing. And I think that just kind of trampolined me into this world of how can we be more intentional? It's not that technology is the worst thing ever or social media is the worst thing ever. I actually believe it can be used for good. Like you do, Todd. I think you're a great example of that.
Thank you.
But can we get to a point where we understand how to be deliberate with technology? Digitally deliberate and digitally disciplined so we don't fall into some of those digital dangers.
Right.
And that's the power of connection.
Yeah.
I mean, just this last year, every year, Utah does a student health and risk prevention survey. You've probably heard of it, the SHARP survey.
Yes.
It's all the youth in all of Utah. They take this survey. It's required. They do it every 2 years.
Okay.
And the results were so interesting. In fact, youth in Utah who eat just one family meal a week, 49% less likely to vape, 32% less likely to be depressed, and 34% less likely to consider suicide.
By having one
family meal a week.
Just one a week.
One family meal. And if you think about that, Todd, you think,
insane.
Well, what are they doing? All they're doing is connecting.
Yeah.
Talking. How was your day? Are you struggling? How was math class?
Yeah.
Like, how's that teacher? What are you dealing with?
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's the antidote. Disconnection can be dangerous, but connection, that could be an antidote for depression, for anxiety, for every mental health struggle that we have, just being with people.
Yeah.
I think that's what every family needs.
Have you heard of that study from Johann Hari about, he says addiction, the opposite of addiction isn't sobriety, the opposite of addiction is connection. And to your point.
So powerful.
And it's so true. I see it with my own clients. My clients who feel connected and they get to this place, they flourish, they thrive. The ones that feel disconnected and isolated and no one likes me and they're stuck. And then they continue doing these behaviors that kind of try to bring some kind of relief. Yeah. And like you said, I think you said it on one of your posts where you said, social media is probably worse than drug addiction. Yeah. So explain that, because I tend to agree.
I do agree, and I think it is so prominent today. It's almost the norm. It's the norm for kids to have social media and have Snapchat and Instagram, and it's become the default. Yeah. We don't have a lot of boredom in today's day.
There's no more boredom anymore. You're right.
So we sit down, think you're at a doctor's office. Imagine this. You're at a doctor's office. You got 10 minutes. What do? Oh, you pull out your phone. You're waiting in line at Costco. 5 minutes. Oh, you pull out your phone. The default effect is so powerful with technology because it's in your pocket, it's connected to you, and all you have to do is pull it out. And so what you need to do is create some friction.
Mm-hmm.
You have to create friction between you and your cell phone.
Yeah.
You have to create some sort of distance. It's maybe giving your wife a password to your screen time. Maybe it's having an accountability partner. But to your point, it can be, and it is incredibly addicting because of variable rewards. It's the variable reward system. You never know if you're going to get a text. You never know if you're going to get a like on your social media post. And so you're constantly checking to get constantly rewarded. And if you don't get rewarded, maybe 5 minutes later, there could be something else. Yeah. And that's the mind game. And that's why they say it can be more addictive, even as addictive as some hard drugs.
Well, again, it's the dopamine effect.
Correct.
You know, you get that like, ooh, it feels good for a moment. It's a dopamine. Mm-hmm. Boom. Dopamine hit. We're addicted to dopamine, man. I'm telling you. You know, have you ever read the book
Dopamine Nation?
Yeah,
maybe?
Dopamine Nation.
Yeah, Anna Lemke.
Wow.
Interesting.
That book blew my mind.
You're totally right. And it really is. Technology has made it so our level of dopamine, our standard has been so high that everything else feels so boring. Yeah. A walk with our family is not as fun as playing video games. No. Having a conversation is not as fun as viewing pornography. Boredom is not as fun as looking at social media. Yeah. And so our playing field of dopamine has just risen through the roof. And so everything else has become boring. And that's the struggle that teens have. Yeah. I don't care to talk with my family because it's not as fun as playing video games. It's not as fun as scrolling on social media. Yeah. Chemically and physically and everything.
So I love your work, and this is so needed right now. What are some stats you can share with us that will probably just blow our minds for a minute? You've already shared a few, but what are some things that we need to know too? Mm-hmm. Like this is important to understand. Yeah. Anything that comes to mind?
Across the nation, the average pickups, so every time you pick up your phone, is 144 to 178 times per day. That's once every 7 to 10 minutes, Todd. So if you think about that, sorry, go ahead.
Once every what?
Once every 5 to 10 minutes, 5, 7, 10 minutes, you're constantly picking up your phone.
Okay, I just wanted to write that down.
Yeah. Think about it.
That blew my mind.
144 times per day, we're worried about what the next thing is on our phone.
Wow. Imagine if we did 144 push-ups, or imagine if we told ourselves 144 positive things about ourselves. Imagine if we did 144 acts of kindness you know what I mean? Like it puts it in perspective. It's like, whoa.
Totally. Or even what if you cut that in half? Yeah. Once every 20 minutes. Yeah. Then you're spending half your time during the day connecting with someone or making a difference in someone's life instead of just going to the default of technology. Wow. That's an interesting one that I've been researching. I think another one is just quite plainly teens are spending 7 hours a day on their cell phone. That's the national average. And then if you add in computer time, TV, everything else, it gets above 8.5 hours. Yeah.
Full-time job with overtime.
Full-time job with overtime.
On top of going to school.
Sleep.
Trying to hang out. Whatever.
It boggles my mind. Think about it. We're supposed to eat or sleep for 8 hours. And then we're awake for 16. Half of our waking time is spent on a device. And then it bleeds into sleep, which is another problem in and of itself.
Right. That's a whole, we can talk about that too, because sleep, how important sleep is, right? Matthew Walker, the sleep expert. Have you heard of him?
I have, but not read any of his books or anything.
Oh my gosh, dude. He's been on a few podcasts, and you think talking about sleep for 2 hours on a podcast would be the most boring. It was the most fascinating thing I've ever heard in my life. I was like, I caught myself saying wow 100 times. Like, wow. I couldn't stop listening. I've listened to it 100 times. I have my clients listen to it, and they all go, sleep. That's, but they all come back. That was the best podcast I've ever heard. So Matthew Walker, for those who just look it up on YouTube, Matthew Walker podcasts. I'm telling you what, guys, he'll teach you stuff about sleep that you absolutely need to know, and you'll be blown away. But anyway.
No, I was speaking at an elementary school, and I was talking with the principal after. She says, the other day I had a parent come to me and say that their son was up till 2 a.m. This is a 4th grader. Up till 2 a.m. playing video games. Then he comes to school 4 or 5 hours later. How are they supposed to be a positive impact on people, but also how are they supposed to learn? So sleep is so important. I think above all else, screens have really just made sleep a problem.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, have you ever seen Social Dilemma?
The movie.
The documentary?
I have not yet.
It talks about the people who created, Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. And anyway, you should look it up because it's right up your alley.
Yeah.
It'll give you more fuel for what you're doing.
Okay.
Anyway, the point is, the more I hear these things, the more I just want to get away from this thing. But it's almost like I feel like we're stuck as a society a little bit. Like, like you said, if we can use it for good, and I do, I use mine, you know that, and just like you're using it for good, but yet I still find myself getting sucked into it. Yeah. And that's on me. I'm not blaming anyone. This is a Todd problem. I'm just like, what do we do? Yeah. Because there's a part of me that's like, I want to just delete it all. But then I'm like, well, then how do I get my message out to the masses? So it's like I feel like I'm stuck. Yeah. Do you ever feel that way?
I completely agree. And I think every parent and every kid probably feels that way as well. Yeah. How do I balance this?
Yes.
So here's the formula.
Okay, good.
Here's what people should understand. Okay. We've already talked about some of the digital dangers, but how do you become a master of your device so it doesn't master you?
Ooh, love that.
We created this acronym, MRS, MRS. This is for every parent that just needs to take back control of their family. Okay. And M stands for just measure. Measure your screen time. I was at a convention 2 months ago doing a booth for parent-teacher conferences. Okay. And the guy next to me was talking about how he's losing weight, how he's going on runs, and I was super inspired. I said, what's your secret? He said, I just measure my calories. I'm like, it can't be that easy. He's like, yeah, I promise you. I used to eat whatever I wanted, and now I haven't changed anything about my routine and workouts. I just measure my calories. Yeah. And he's lost 20 pounds in the last 6 weeks. Yeah. And I was blown away. Yeah. But the principle is he just started measuring. Yeah. So on your phone, if you have an Android, it's called digital wellness. Or if you have a smartphone or an iPhone, it's just called screen time. So every day at night before you go to bed, just measure it. Look at your screen. It's going to be scary the first day. Yeah, right. It's going to be scary. You're going to say to yourself, I am picking it up 200 times, or I'm spending 6 hours a day on YouTube, whatever it is. So constantly, you got to be checking in. Okay, screen time if you're on iPhone, and then digital wellness if you're on Samsung. Does screen time tell you how many times you pick it up too? It shows you how much you pick it up. Shows you how much time you spend on each app. I think that one thing is probably the scariest. It is. How many times you pick up your phone. Yes, and it also tells you what you go to first when you pick up your phone. Oh, wow. Which is super interesting if you're like me or you, where you're trying to just control it a little better. Yeah. So as a parent, be cognizant of what you're spending your time on. And then also have your kid check in your phone. Yeah. Check in their phone and just measure with him. Yeah. Okay. Hey, here's how we're doing. Like how many pickups you have a day. Yeah. How much time are you spending on Instagram or social media or any sort of app? That's going to help you measure. So that's the M. Okay. And then R is just like any other therapy. It's just you have to rest and replace. You can't just restrict phones. And that's the problem parents have, right? You just want to just grab it and chuck it out the window because it's making you so mad. But the problem is that just brings resentment. So restriction brings resentment. So how do you do that? You need to replace. So you have to replace the activity they usually would do, like social media, like video games. And you have to replace it with something like a walk or a conversation or family dinner, family time. Yeah, like check your phone in at family dinner. Everyone put your phone on the fridge so we can all sit and talk and actually have a conversation. Yes. And I think the biggest one I want to hit on, Todd, is you have to give your phone a bedtime. You have to. You cannot charge it next to you. You have to charge it outside your room. And you cannot leave your kids with their phones in their room. Yeah. Every single kid that struggles. Every single kid. It's because it's late at night and they're alone in their room. That's why they struggle. Yeah. And so as a parent, you have to take control of that. You can buy them an alarm clock, whatever they need, but you have to make sure you give your phone a bedtime. Okay. And then you keep it away so that you're also winding down, getting better sleep. Yeah. But that you're just being more intentional with managing your phone. And it's going to keep your kids away from a lot of dangers. I love that. Yeah. So that's rest and replace. Rest and replace. And that could even be a a little detox session, maybe Saturday morning for 5 hours. You put your phone in a drawer, or all day Sunday, or a Monday night, whatever it means.
Yeah.
That can be a good rest period.
Gotcha.
So having sort of a family plan with giving your phone, but you could even sing it a lullaby. You could put it to sleep every night, but your phone needs to be outside your bedroom and put away.
Yeah. I've been really trying this over the last several months, where when I go out on a date with my wife, I leave my phone at home.
Awesome.
I don't even take, because I mean, she'll have her phone with her, and she's not on it when we're doing our thing. Yeah. But she'll even sometimes ask, "Where's your phone?" I'm like, "I didn't bring it. I don't need it. I'm with you." Yeah. But there's a part of me going, "Where's my phone?"
That's awesome.
Right? And it's actually been really nice, because it's like, oh, I don't even have my phone with me. God, it actually feels kind of nice. No distractions. So anyway, that's something I've incorporated.
Yeah.
So the replace piece, where I replace, I mean, that with going on my date with my wife. Yeah. So the connection piece. So.
Yeah. And I think the S is just simple. You have to keep it simple.
Okay.
And making a screen family plan is what that also.
Okay. And what would that, if you don't mind, I mean, I know it's a big question, because every family's a little different, but what kind of suggestions could you give our listeners about a family plan? What does that look like?
I think it takes just one family meeting. That's all it takes. 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You sit down, you say, "Hey guys, we want to become more digitally deliberate. And so we're going to make a plan." That includes giving it a bedtime. It also can include what you suggested of a screen-free family dinner, a screen-free family night, a screen-free day on a vacation. Mm-hmm. It just honestly comes back to, how can you as a family get back to connection? And each family's different.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that there's everything is bad about technology. Watching a family movie or a family sporting event, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Like, not all technology is just bad.
For sure.
So having a screen time family plan is something that is just so critical, because you're going to wake up and be grateful you did. Yeah. Because your kids are going to be safe from some of those dangerous things that are happening.
I love how you say keep it simple, right? Because if we overcomplicate it, then no one does it, or you're setting yourself up for failure. Let's just, and maybe even starting slowly. Hey, we're going to chip away at this, but why don't we start with this week as a family kind of thing? Is that?
Totally. Yeah. And it just takes one conversation.
Yeah.
And I would say have the conversation earlier than later, so that you don't start kicking yourself. As soon as you can understand that your kids are starting to want to be on technology more. Maybe their friends are getting cell phones or spending too much time on TV. That's when you just take initiative early.
Yeah.
And then try and delay as much as you can, giving them a smartphone or giving them access. And when you do, make sure there are restrictions in place, and putting proper restrictions so that they don't fall into some of those traps.
Yeah, no, that sounds awesome. Another question I have for you is, how is AI now playing a part in this? Because, I mean, AI is going so fast. I don't think any of us understand the gravity of what we're dealing with here. Yes, it's got some really amazing things to it, right? It can help you clean something up that you've written. There's a lot of great things, but I also think there's a lot of negative. But how does that also play a part in this social media stuff?
It plays a pretty dangerous part. Not just the fact that we're able to create pornographic images online or generate any type of image that we would like, but also the fact that we get all our information from ChatGPT. And I think GPT, I've kind of come up with this acronym, but you could critique me on it. I think ChatGPT has turned into Chat God Parent Teacher.
Ooh.
I think it's become something that we totally rely on. Ooh. Every single time we have a question, whether it's spiritual or not, whether we want to believe in something or not, we turn to a machine. We turn to a program, a mathematic equation to tell us what we should believe. And we're seeing it more and more with kids. They rely so heavily on an algorithm. And I don't know all the data and statistics on what percentage is true or false, but I think it can be a struggle because it becomes our godparent or teacher.
Dang. Well, and I think you're right. And I think it's interesting. I think I'm guilty of this too. It's almost like if you hear it on social media, it's somehow true when it could be completely false, and then you can hear the exact opposite somewhere else. And now you believe it this way. And it's like, and I've heard this, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this too. There's so much information coming at us. I've heard this, and I don't know where the source came from, so forgive me, but we get more information in 1 week because of social media and everything else that we have than the people in the 1940s got in their lifetime.
Wow.
So think about the overload that does. And I've heard, because we're getting so much stimulation in a week, which our brain can't handle, I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to the incredible sponsors of the Beliefcast podcast. First, Craig from Craig Swap and Associates. If you need an attorney, he's your guy. Trustworthy, compassionate, always there when you need him most. Next, Wasatch Recovery, the greatest university on the planet, transforming lives one day at a time. Sandy from Minky Couture, the creative genius behind the most comfortable blanket you'll ever wrap yourself in. Comfort like no other. Special thanks to the award-winning pianist Paul Cardall for his beautiful music that brings inspiration to every episode. As you probably know better than I do, we don't know what's true and what's false because there's too much we can't discern it. It's just too much. And to your point, if we're turning to ChatGPT for the answer, it's like you said, it's turning into our God, our parent, our teacher. That's scary. I've had teachers tell me, none of my class is retaining any information anymore. Yeah, they're writing great papers. Yeah, they're doing all this. But obviously, I know they're using ChatGPT. If I ask them the comprehension questions of what they wrote, they can't answer them. How scary is that? But the kid thinks, well, I got the assignment done.
Yeah.
But did you learn anything? And the answer is no.
Yeah. You
learned how to use ChatGPT, but that's about it. So obviously, I would imagine your, measure, rest and replace, and the simplify, have a family plan probably also would include the AI stuff, I would imagine.
No, you're totally right. And it's so funny because it's all just coming at us like a tidal wave. And we're not able to keep up with some of the data and some of the statistics that are happening. So
yeah,
you just need to, you have to be a sifter. There's the funnel of information, and whether you believe in God or higher being or not, you have to make sure and ask yourself, is this right? Is this truly right?
Yeah.
And being the sifter, because when you're the sifter, not everything goes through. The rocks stay there. Some of the sand falls through. Some of the interesting stuff, and the most important things fall through. But if you're a good sifter and you rely on, which I believe is the Holy Spirit, and making sure that you just are questioning some of the things you need to question.
Yeah.
And part of that comes back to curating your feed. I always talk about how poison dart frogs are only poisonous because of what they eat.
Right.
They eat poisonous arthropods and mites, and then they keep that poison on their back. But take that same poison dart frog and put it in captivity, feed it crickets, the poison goes away.
Really?
So if you think about your feed, your Facebook feed, your Instagram feed, are you feeding yourself poison? What are you consuming?
What is it?
And if you're consuming poison, you have to curate it. You got to just click the unfollow button. You have to make sure that what you're seeing every day lifts you up.
Yeah.
Instead of puts you down.
Well, I've noticed a lot of people will complain to me, moms, about their kids' algorithm, right? They've got certain things, and it's almost like they get on a certain algorithm, they can't get rid of it. Is there a way do you know of a tip that you could share with our listeners? I mean, I know that's probably maybe a tough question. I don't even know if you can.
That's a great question. It probably goes back to curating your feed, and the algorithm works based on how much time you spend on it. And the only way to change your algorithm is change your feed, change how much time you spend on your Instagram or scrolling reels. The answer to that, I don't know if I know, but it just goes back to being deliberate and starting with a purpose before you scroll.
Well, and it just sounds like we have to really be purposeful and intentional with what we're doing on our phones and teaching that to our kids. Because if I'm a parent, and I would imagine if I'm on my phone all the time, I'm teaching my kids the same thing. I can't tell my kids to be off their phone if I'm always on mine. Always. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I think example's a big thing, but I also think it's okay to put some boundaries. And I'm with you. I don't think ripping their phone out of their hand and say no more phone.
No.
I think that, like you said, creates resentment, and they're going to go sneak a phone. And then when they get the phone back, they're going to hide everything from you at that point. But again, I think if you can get everyone to buy into a plan, simplify it. I really love that approach. I think that's it's doable.
Yeah. And the biggest problem really is a lack of a plan.
Yeah.
Parents, we always give the analogy of giving the keys to the Corvette to their 11-year-old and just letting them drive.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. I'm totally fine if you give your kid a phone, try and delay as much as you can. But if you're going to give them a phone, at least put some restrictions and make a plan.
Yeah.
So that you can save them from a lot of heartache.
Yeah. I want to share an experience I've been having with my clients. And I want to make a claim here, a disclaimer, if you will. I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying I have the answers to all this, but I have noticed something that's working for some of these clients who have ADD or ADHD, right? And I'm not there to diagnose. This is what they're telling me, but I'll say, well, again, I ask them the question, how much time do you spend on your phone? They always lowball it. I haven't looked that up. It's always, around the 6 to 7 to 8 hour kind of a daily ritual. It's kind of, 6, 7. Sorry, I just made everyone laugh. 6, 7, man. Snapchat for my younger clients is number one usually. And then TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, that kind of thing. So anyway, I have them do that. And, and I say, part of your problem is what if it's just a focus issue? And what's happening is your phone, I think, what's the average time someone spends on a reel, or is it like 3 seconds?
Probably.
It's really short, right? And so you think about this, you're scrolling for hours, 8 hours. So you're training your mind to focus on something for 3 seconds, and then you move on to something else. And then what we do is we tell our kids when they go to class, put your phone up for an hour. They go crazy. They're just like, they can't handle it, right? So with a lot of these clients, what I challenge them to do, let's say, I'll give you an example. I won't give you the client's name, but this girl that I'm working with, she's in high school. Great girl. I mean, just a great kid, but struggling with depression, anxiety, comparison, not feeling like she belongs. Doesn't think she's pretty. She's a really pretty girl, but she doesn't think she is. She just feels like she is the worst of the worst. And I'm like, she's spending 8 hours a day on her phone. I said, this is probably the main culprit here. And, and they always fight it. No, it's not. It's something else, Anyway, so I've been working with her for a while now. We've got her down to 3 hours a day.
Wow.
Now that's a big jump.
That's awesome.
Right? 3 hours is still a lot though, right? But what we're also incorporating is I'm having her read a book for 20 minutes, a physical book in her hand, not audiobook, physical book. And the rule is phone has to be in another room when you're on with this book.
Yeah.
Now, when she first started reading this book, she's like, God, I couldn't do it. My mind was wandering. It was all over. I go, I get it. But let's start somewhere. But when you're a little kid, you're reading all the time. Mm-hmm. So now she's found a book she loves. She's reading 20 minutes a night. Cut her social media off by 5 hours.
Wow.
Dude, her mom, and I'm going to choke up saying this, shows up with one of her sessions with her crying, tears of joy. She goes, I'm getting my daughter back. And she obviously knows what's going on, but she's always like confirming, like, why is this working? I said, think about it. She's spending way less time on her phone, and she's actually reading a physical book, and she's reading good things. Right? Which is allowing her mind to slow down, to calm. And then what's happening is her desire for the phone is starting to get less and less and less. I don't have to tell her to stay off her phone now. She just wants to. Wow. But I'll tell you, it's like going through withdrawals from a drug, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you because I thought you'd appreciate that. Like,
That's
I've watched
incredible.
these clients who thought they had ADD, but really that wasn't the issue. Mm-hmm. They just needed to learn to slow down the mind a little bit. Anyway, it's been fascinating to watch.
That's incredible.
And that's one of many I could tell you about. But anyway,
I love that.
Wanted to share that with you.
That's very, very cool.
So why don't you tell people about Screen Guys and what that's all about, and then kind of what's your big, overall vision of this?
Yeah. So my dad is a mental health therapist. He works in therapy, and me and him have joined together, hoping to get back to connection.
I've seen some posts with your dad. He's awesome.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
So a lot of school assemblies for White Ribbon Week or digital literacy in elementary schools, and then junior high and high schools mostly focusing on social media and mental health.
Wow.
A lot of parent nights, a lot of firesides, just a lot of speaking engagements to help parents get educated on what's happening and hopefully inspire some kids to
Sure.
make some better decisions.
Yeah. How does that feel? Do you, when you're done with a speaking event, like on parent night, like do you feel like, man, that was making a difference there?
I do. And I think parents' jaws drop to the floor when they start realizing some of the dangers.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see them make some plans. It's cool to see the difference that it can make, and you've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
It always feels good to know that you've helped one person.
For sure. No, that's really cool. So as we move forward with life and how things are changing so rapidly, is there some things out there that would be helpful for us to know that we're maybe not aware of, but because of your research and stuff that you've been doing, that would be, you can give us a heads up on, if you will? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if there's something that comes to mind when I say that. I know that's a big question.
No. The average age of exposure for pornography is 11 years old. And 50% of 11-year-olds have their own smartphone now in the United States.
50% of 11-year-olds.
Of 11-year-olds. And I wonder if that correlation has something to do with it. With pornography, there's no way you can filter, block everything, because somehow or another, not on purpose,
right,
it's just going to come across.
Well, yeah.
And if you're a parent who loves your child and wants them to be successful, just having those open conversations is going to be the difference maker.
Yeah.
Having consistent, constant discussions about the harms of pornography, the struggle it can be on the mind.
Yeah.
And teaching your kids that they're not a bad person if they happen to fall into the trap,
right,
but teaching them that they can get out of it, and that they're not a bad person.
Yeah.
And that they can overcome it, but just putting all of the systems and processes in place so that they can be safe online is the number one thing they need to do.
Wow, I love that. I heard a study, it was out of China, did this study on TikTok that they were studying what's happening in the U.S. with TikTok versus them, and so one of the things in this study was, and I'll try to see if I can reference the study when we go live here. We can put the link to it. But basically, a new user on TikTok knows you're a brand new user. Out of the 10 scrolls that you do, on average, 8 are sexual and 2 are violent. Wow. On average, for a new user. Wow. So imagine you're giving your 11-year-old kid phone, and he's got TikTok. And then he spends 8 hours on the phone. He's getting 8 hours of a ton of sexual content and a ton of violent content. Yeah. Now think about what that's doing to a young mind, obviously, and to your point about the pornography thing. I think there is a direct correlation of it's so young of people coming across it because it's just there. Yeah. It's not like like you said, they're not like, I'm going to go find porn today. Yep. But yet they accidentally come across it, or it's just there. And I've heard it said that Instagram, TikTok, all these things are pregame for a kid to go to porn. It's like it's the warm up. Yeah, that's scary.
It is.
So it's like it's getting their sexual tendencies and their sexual thoughts aroused to a point where, okay, now I'm gonna go look at the real thing. Yeah. So anyway,
and then they want to hide it because they feel guilty. Yep. And you have to have transparency if you're ever going to succeed in a digital world. Yeah. And as a parent, you hit it right on the head. Just know some of the dangers, and then do everything you can to have an open and honest conversation and put some plans into place.
Wow, man, I love it. If there's someone tuning into this episode right now, Talmage, and they're in a dark place and they're struggling and even having thoughts of not wanting to be here, kind of like the same situation you found yourself when you were walking out in the heat, feeling like no one cared, what would you tell that one person right now?
7 seconds. Take 7 seconds and put your phone down. And then look at your kid, look at your husband, look at your spouse in the eyes, and just tell them how much you love them.
Love that.
I was speaking to a group of parents 3 weeks ago, up in Brigham City, Utah. They were awesome. Such good people. And
Yeah.
afterwards, this guy comes up to me. He's like, "Can I tell you a story?" I said, "Of course." He said, "The other day I was on the couch scrolling on my phone. My daughter's playing on the carpet, and she's yapping away about something. And then she turns to me and says, 'Dad, are you listening to me?' And he goes, Of course I'm listening to you. Why? What's
Yeah,
up?"
Of course.
And then the daughter says, "Dad, you're not listening to me.
Mm.
Because if you were listening to me, you'd be looking me in my eyes."
Ooh.
He said, "In that moment, I put my phone down. And I started to play with my daughter." So 7 seconds. Take 7 seconds. Put your phone down. Connect with someone. Because 7 seconds going to turn into 10 seconds, and then 15, and then a
Yeah.
minute, and then an hour.
Yeah.
Just take that 7 seconds and choose to put it down and then look up.
Yeah. What do you feel like that does to a person who's struggling when they have that moment? What do you think?
I think it gives them a new life. I think it gives them a new perspective.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're looking down, you don't see the trees, the grass, the wind. You don't see the beautiful
Yeah.
sun. And you're
Yeah.
so distracted that you miss out on the best things of life. So just remembering to put it down.
Yeah, we used to look up for inspiration. Now we're all looking down.
Hmm.
Yeah, we got to stop looking down. Let's look up, look people in the eye,
Yeah.
connect. Well said. Those are powerful words, man. I can feel that. That's amazing. For those who want to maybe learn more about what you're doing and maybe ask you some questions or maybe get help with a family plan or what have you, and just maybe catch up to one of your speaking events,
Yeah.
what would be the best way for someone to do that?
Yeah, go ahead and just follow us. Trying to fight some fire with fire on Instagram. So follow us at screen_guys. And then visit our website at screenguy.com.
Yeah.
And on that website, you can get a free screen plan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just a downloadable.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, again, I think if someone has some structure or,
Mhm.
a template that they can go off of, I think
Yeah.
that's where a lot of people don't want to start. Like, I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
But I think that plan would be good just to kind of get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll put the links on the show notes so people can get right to you.
Awesome.
Man, dude, you're awesome.
Oh,
I
Todd,
mean it.
thank you.
Like, I love what you do. I love your passion to help people. I think you went through that experience as a kid that you mentioned with us because it led you to doing this. I think that's why, I'm guessing, why finances maybe doesn't really pop off for you at this point, because what changed your life wasn't finances. What changed your life was when that dude stopped and said, "You need a ride." Whew. That's what hit me.
All in one.
Fair to say?
7 seconds.
Yeah, 7 seconds. Looked you in the eye. Said, "You need a ride." So anyway, man, love what you do. Love your
Thanks,
work.
Todd.
It's been a pleasure to
you.
have you on the show. And best of luck in the future. And if you ever want to come back on, just let me know. I'd love to have you back on because it sounds like you're going to be doing some big things. And I just love this too because I think a lot of what you teach is not only helping me and my family, but it's the clients I'm dealing with. I'm able to give that information, and I've sent several people to your website since we initially got in contact with each other. So thankful
Thank
for
you,
that.
Todd.
Okay.
Keep it up.
All right. Talmage Erickson, guys. Reach out to him. Check out what he's doing. But like he said, you got to measure what you're doing. You got to rest and replace, and you got to make it simple. Come up with a family plan. Do those things. I'm going to challenge all of you to do that. If you have family, if you are a grandparent, I don't care, wherever you're at in life, do that for your family. I'm going to do that as well. I'm going to take the same challenge. So I love you guys. Thanks to my sponsors, and thanks for everyone tuning in. Love you guys. Till next time.